Hey guys, this is Maka here bringing you another Nintendo Box video, and today we have another discussion with Benny and his channel Zeshix, and it's set to be a really good one. We're talking about Bayonetta 2 because we've both played through Bayonetta 2. Benny admittedly a bit more because he's crazy like that. But
Yeah.
what was your favourite aspect of the game, Benny?
I mean, honestly, there can't be just one aspect, but when it comes down to it, I think it's just the surprises. Like, always, when you're in a chapter, you're always enjoying the environment, all the atmosphere, all the stuff that's going on. And yeah, I really loved the fact that I could always look forward to what's coming next. What
Yeah.
will the game show me next? What enemy? What level design? That kind of stuff was really awesome. So all in all, just the fact that the game surprised me a lot of the times. I think that's, well, my favorite aspect of the game. Yeah, really like that.
I totally agree. Just like every time you finish a level, just where can it go next? What can they step up another level? And they manage to do it every time, and that's pretty damn amazing. It's one of the things that I do love about this game.
Oh
I'd
yeah.
say personally, my favourite aspect of the game is definitely the story. That kept me going throughout the first game when I played through it, and also the second game. And it all intertwines, and it's amazing, and it's something that I wasn't expecting, but it was very good.
Yeah, the story itself was really well done, especially combined. Both games combined were really cool because they have this strong connection.
They really do.
But
Yeah.
yeah, story-wise, it didn't really push me forward. Of course, I wanted to know what's happening at this mountain, what's going to happen when we finally arrive there. But obviously, a lot of events happen, and well, the story really takes turns left and right. So honestly, story-wise, I really only wanted to see what I was able to do gameplay-wise. What could be done outside of the normal fight, stuff like that. How would they, well, build upon the first Bayonetta game? So I really also looked forward to, well, what was possible outside of the normal fights, or how would
Yeah.
they change up things?
Yeah, that's something that you've kind of brought my attention to because I wasn't doing it too much, but you really kind of said, well, go and explore the map. And you were totally right because it's kind of a very beautiful world. They've took a lot of inspiration from Europe, I think, and
Yeah.
it's really shone through. It's very nice.
Yeah, it is extremely nice, especially now with the new swim ability, the snake. It
Yeah.
feels like every time you are just going around, it feels nice. It feels very natural, and you just find things left and right when you're looking for them. It's very similar almost to, well, Skyward Sword, I think, because you have this linear path, but left and right you also had a lot of collectible stuff there. Um, that's like the easiest game to compare it to, I think, in terms of exploration, because it is very limited, but you have stuff there that you can explore.
It's yeah, I've not played Skyward Sword myself, but if that's the case, then that sounds good. And I definitely enjoyed that aspect of the game, even if I didn't enjoy the AI character that I was with saying, hurry up, all the time, while
Yeah.
I was going to find a case to get myself a heart piece, or
Oh
what do you
well.
call it, a broken witch heart.
Yeah. It was kind of strange. It's yeah, especially like he just doesn't know what he wants. If he says hurry up and you go like 10 meters before him, he's gonna say, "Hey, wait!"
Wait, yeah.
So yeah, that kid really doesn't know what he wants. But other than that, yeah, I think he was a pretty cool companion, especially story-wise.
Yeah.
I think he had amnesia and stuff.
He was very cool, and that was a really great asset to the story. And are we doing spoilers on this discussion? Should we go for it?
um, yeah, let's go for it. I think everyone has played the game by now, or at least a good majority of the people who watch this video.
Yeah.
If you didn't, then go and do so, man. It's freaking
Go
amazing.
and yeah, go and from now go play that game because it's amazing. It will be at least your game of the year, and that's in a year with Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Bros coming out.
Oh
or
yeah.
at least it has been for me. I'll put it out there, it's surpassed Wind Waker, it's my favourite game of all time, it's brilliant. So we're going to spoil it, and if you haven't played it, go play it, come back and watch this video, you'll enjoy it even more for that. So what was I saying? I was saying that to do with the story, it's great, it kind of intertwines, doesn't it? And it was said before the game actually came out that it would kind of also be a prequel to Bayonetta, and that was definitely true. And that really is a strong point to the story. That was a really cool part of the story, I thought. I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It was like in the first Bayonetta, I think a lot of the people thought, well, Boulder, he's just an asshole. This douchebag, he's just a normal villain and stuff. And
Yeah.
now that we play Bayonetta 2, he really looks like a very good dude. Like, he doesn't look as bad as no, people thought he was in the
No.
first Bayonetta. I really like that. You also really know why Bayonetta in the first one had a lot of flashbacks 500 years ago, even though she wasn't really there, but she was going to be there. So
Yeah.
it's just insanely weird, um, the story, but I really like it. If you understand it, there are a lot of people who don't give a crap about the story, but I tell you, try to get into it. It's a really fun story, and yeah, it's just totally awesome, I think.
It's very good, and the story was the main thing for me, definitely. I really enjoyed that. And I don't know, the Boulder thing, that kind of really got to me. I thought it was so cool. It's so well done, it was so intricate the way that they did it. And towards the end when he sacrifices himself, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Effectively, and he takes in the evil spirit of, I can't remember the god's name, something beginning with an A. I
Uh,
don't, but he takes in the god spirit, and that moment was a really emotional moment, and I nearly had a tear come into my eye, because if you know me well, you know that any movie that's slightly sad, I will cry my eyes out at, because I'm just manly like that. But it was really good, and I kind of teared up a bit, and it really affected me, and just kind of cemented how much of a good game this was. Until they kind of added the weird, kinky comedy aspect again, where he should have really said, just one time, call me father, that would have been fine, but he said just one time, call me daddy. Which,
Daddy.
to me, it was a bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, mm, I don't know. It
It kind
wasn't.
of made sense in the respect that he still sees her as his little daughter, and
Yeah,
I thought that was cool how she didn't think that he recognised her, but he obviously did, and I thought that was quite nice. But it was just funny the way that that just kind of has weird connotations.
yeah. I also thought that was a little weird, but now that you said it, well, that he still thinks of her as the child, as her little daughter. It kind of makes sense, honestly.
Yeah.
So, I think it was okay, the ending. But one thing that I really liked was that at the beginning of the game, the first chapter was called The End. And the cool thing about this, you saw the villain in there when Boulder like was lying there on the ground, and everyone thought that was the right eye. Um,
Hmm.
that was like fighting with him. You still remember that? That moment after
No, I don't think so. That's slipped my mind.
he was
Yeah.
like, "You will not escape this fate. We will perish together." And then he falls down, and
Oh no, I do remember that. Yeah,
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 and everyone was like, or I was like, what is that thing? Is that the eye? The right
yeah.
eye of light? Because that's also supposed to be blue. But no, it was the spirit who
Mm.
then, well, perished with him. So it was just a really cool, like, first chapter. And it kind of like it brought the whole story together in this first chapter, even though it's
Yeah,
supposed to be.
it's great. It's really clever as well how they did it, because that is some great foreshadowing that you just kind of don't get in games. That's a really nice technique that they use, like a narrative technique,
Yeah.
which you just wouldn't expect from an over the top crazy as hell, sexualized action game.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
So props to Kamiya, my man, doing the story here for part 2 as well as part 1. Really amazing. He thought that like he always wanted to make a part 2, I think, and he also started working on part 2 directly after part 1.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think he just had the thought of making Bayonetta 2 and want this very connected experience.
Yeah.
So it's just very well thought out by him.
Yeah, I
Really cool.
agree. And I especially, the last thing about the story, because we have to move on, we've got a lot to cover.
Yeah.
The last thing about the story is, you know, at the end when Balder has taken in the spirit, and you know he's going to turn evil because you know what happened in the first one, and then after the credits, I think it's after the credits, he rises back up, and you see the little mark on his forehead appear,
Yeah.
and then Bayonetta, the first logo, flashes up. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, that was very clever, and it again
Yeah,
showed that they had to package Bayonetta 1 in with Bayonetta 2.
yeah.
So really cool stuff there. Really enjoyed it.
And to be honest, it makes me so glad that I did play Bayonetta 1 first, because otherwise that story would not have been such a major point for me. It wouldn't have affected me as nearly as much, and I wouldn't have enjoyed Bayonetta 2 as much. It was
Yeah.
definitely something that I needed to do.
Well, that and you had a lot of like connections between like there was a whole section or almost the whole game of Bayonetta 1 in a chapter of Bayonetta 2.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Vigrid part, really cool stuff there. Didn't expect that at all. I mean, I thought we're just gonna see like from the trailers, you could already hear that she went back in time,
Yeah.
and it was in Vigrid because you saw the clock tower, and I thought, well, it's just gonna be the fight at the clock tower, but no, it was the whole town like completely brought back. Really cool, really
And
good stuff.
yeah, and when you're in that fight, you are, in part of it at least, in mechs, which was awesome. And that just kind of leads us on to our next thing, which is a big thing for you. Do you have anything more to say about the gameplay? Maybe the enemy designs, something like that?
Oh yeah. So all in all, like the gameplay is insanely well done. I gotta
So
admit
well.
that. So it's my first really third person action game, but
Yeah,
really
same here.
it just feels well. Hyrule Warriors is kind of
Oh, yeah, well,
well,
that's
yeah.
how my memory is. God.
Oh well, but yeah. Like in the style of just normal action games, Hyrule Warriors and
Yeah,
the Warrior series
I
is really
kind of,
something
I put the
special.
Warriors games in a class of their own, really.
Yeah, they're really something different than Bayonetta. Um, but yeah, I really like that the game never really feels unfair outside of when the camera kinda sucks, but that happens like almost never.
Hmm.
Like the camera is pretty solid most of the time. It only
Yeah, I
sucks
didn't
when
even
you,
notice it.
yeah, it only really sucks when you have to deal with um, gigantic enemies that well, if more than one gigantic enemy is on the screen, then it
Hmm.
kinda can play against you.
Yeah.
But honestly, like the gameplay is just so amazing. I didn't think that the combat would like that I would enjoy the combat that much, and I thought about it before the game came out, like how it would be to play this game. But
Hmm.
actually playing it and thinking about playing it, those are just two completely different things
Oh,
for
they
me.
really are.
Um, yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the enemy design, they never feel cheap. You always have stuff, like, you always have a chance to dodge, and you don't only have to learn how
Hmm.
you want to fight, like, how you do your combos and stuff, but you also have to learn the enemy design and how
Yeah.
the enemies attack. What are their attack patterns? How can you read them properly? Stuff like that. Learning how to dodge or to block is
Hmm.
also really important. And also, one thing I really liked was that enemy weapons in this game feel very good, very strong. And
They
I
do.
think,
I really enjoyed using those.
yeah, and that's how it should be. You should feel rewarded for, well, picking up an enemy weapon by torturing them. So
Hmm.
yeah, and also the Umbran Climax thing. So I also played Bayonetta 1 before Bayonetta 2.
Yep.
And well, Umbran Climax really feels very awesome, and I especially like that you can like summon different demons depending on what combo you do.
That was very cool.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. Like you can try out, or you should try out different combos and see what kind of attacks, finishing moves those demons do at the end of the combo. Yeah, really cool stuff there. But the what I didn't know is that Bayonetta 1 also had kind of like Umbran Climax already in like two of the boss fights, I think, and
Hmm.
in the last boss fight as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. Okay.
when you
I didn't
attacked,
realize this either.
yeah, when you attacked, you just automatically did the Umbran Climax thing, where you
Hmm.
summoned these big fists, or depending if you had a sword, these gigantic sword swings and stuff.
That's cool. They just kind of fleshed it out a bit more for the second
Oh
game
yeah,
again.
yeah. And in the first one, like you couldn't even get out of the mode. Like it was all you were just the whole fighting this Umbran Climax thing.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it didn't really have the combo system that was also in Bayonetta 2,
Yeah.
where the whole demon like shows up and destroys your screen.
Hmm.
So yeah, really cool stuff. The Umbran Climax torture attacks. I didn't really use too many torture attacks, but every now and then they're also cool to use because of the items. So yes, really cool combo system, really cool enemy design. Uh, I was always looking forward to what they bring up next, what they
Yeah.
throw at me.
Speaking of enemy design, actually, going back to Bayonetta 1, there's that one enemy that I don't know the name of personally, but I think you do. You mentioned it the other day. The one which is very sexualized. You see her in that first scene
Oh yeah,
with where she pretends to be Bayonetta.
yeah,
Yeah, that torture attack specifically is raunchy as hell.
yeah. The enemy's name is Joy, by the way.
Oh, right,
And
okay, cool.
her introduction is one of the most over-sexualized things in video games, I think. And also her torture attacks are also kind of, well, kind of crazy, kind of
They are
sexual.
crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, while we are talking about gameplay, the gameplay of Bayonetta and just the whole general kind of feel to Bayonetta, your opinions on it, and I know you love the Wonderful 101. Did this trump the Wonderful 101 for you? What's so good about it that made it better, or what made it worse than the Wonderful 101? I know it'll be a tough decision.
So, okay. The thing is, the Wonderful 101, um, the main goal of that game was to just juggle the enemies as long as you can. That's basically it. Just keep the juggle going for as long as you can. In
Yeah.
Bayonetta 2, it doesn't really seem like it allows you to do that easy,
No.
especially since you most of the time have enemies that, first of all, don't allow you to juggle them like at all. And there are a lot of enemies that can also attack while they are getting juggled. Or yeah, some of them allow you like attack you while they are getting juggled
Mhm.
and attack you in the air. So it's really hard to tell. Well, they are both very different styles, I
Yeah,
think, of
I agree.
gameplay. So what I think I prefer personally Bayonetta 2. Not because the Wonderful 101 is bad, but because in Bayonetta 2 the action is more focused. You really feel like every hit that connects is just totally awesome and stuff.
Mhm.
And in the Wonderful 101, it's because of the camera angle and stuff. The normal fighting feels good, but you don't feel as connected to the character as you do in Bayonetta 2. And also, I think the action in Bayonetta 2 is faster generally, I
Yeah.
think, than in the Wonderful 101. Yeah, I can see that. And also, like, I think the skill cap is higher in Bayonetta. I can see that like it's just insane how good you can be at this game.
Mhm.
In the Wonderful 101, the skill cap really wasn't that high if you managed to figure out how the system works. Maybe it's the same thing in Bayonetta, but yeah, figuring it out in the Wonderful 101, it took a while. So I think it will be hard, it would be just not fair to make a judgment at this point in time. I need to play
Right.
Bayonetta more, even though I played it for almost 30 hours by now.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the Wonderful 101 clocks in with almost like 300 hours, so
Wow. Yeah.
still a lot to play, a lot of Bayonetta to play before I can really make like the judgment um, that I want to be able to make.
Yeah. Well, personally, for me, you know how this is going to go, and if you've watched any of my videos where I talk about this kind of comparison, you know how this is going to go. Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 trump it every single day for me. But that's just a personal opinion, as is every review, as is every just comment on a discussion. So, the next topic is something a bit different. Benny, how much do you want Nintendo to buy Platinum? Do you think that they're going to? And how much do you think that now, after the success of this game, or how much you imagine this game will be successful, how much of a good quality it is, do you think they need to?
Well. I hope Nintendo buys Platinum. I told you, man. I told you like a few discussions ago. Man, Nintendo buy Platinum.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it's not like it's an original idea.
and you were saying like, oh, okay, well, yeah, because you didn't play Bayonetta yet, and you also didn't get into the Wonderful 101. You thought it was not as great as I thought it was because you didn't get into it.
Yeah,
And it's totally understandable. I thought the game was trash, even though I played it like for 5 hours back
yeah.
then, and I played it for another 5 hours, and then it clicked. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think Platinum is such a great studio, man. They are the pinnacle of action games, and
They certainly are.
that's not arguable. They are the pinnacle. That's a fact.
Hmm.
So honestly, it would be a smart move because Nintendo has a lot of like pinnacle of genres. So, for example, they definitely some of the best 2D jump runs, best 3D jump run.
Yeah.
They have best RPG with Monolith Soft, hopefully.
I
Um,
think that that's definitely the case. Yeah,
yeah,
the OnlySoft is such a good studio, and definitely, I think with 3D jump and runs and kind of 3D platformers, it's kind of a dying art. There's not many places that do it now. There's a lot of 2D ones with their retro games and also some bigger companies such as Ubisoft have Rayman. But as far as 3D ones go, there's only really the 3D Mario games. There's not many apart from that. Things like Jak and Daxter, Crash Bandicoot, Ratchet and Clank to a certain extent, they've all kind of died off. So they definitely like own the genre in that sense.
oh yeah. So they are also like Zelda, arguably the best like not RPG action adventure game,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So they have a lot of just great franchises, great games. Now, do I think they buy them? No, honestly, I can't see it happen
Me
because
neither.
Platinum knows that they are top studio and they constantly grow. That's another thing. So it would
Hmm.
cost Nintendo a ton of money to buy them. Actually, even though, Platinum wants to be bought. Like Kamiya stated it multiple times that he wants Nintendo to buy Platinum, or if they bought them, they would be cool with it. But it
Yeah.
would probably cost them a ton of money. So
It would do. I mean, it's not like Nintendo don't have the money, and I actually did see this thing coming from the guy who actually owns Platinum and runs Platinum. He's the CEO, who isn't Kamiya. If you got that misconception, then that's totally understandable because he's the guy that you often hear stuff about, but he isn't actually the big boss at Platinum. I forget his name, but that's a different guy. And he was talking to, I think it was IGN, but it might have been GameSpot. And he said something along the words of, the studio's grown a lot recently. It's something that I'm not sure whether I'm comfortable with. Past this point, I'm not really sure if I want it to grow too much more. So I can't really see it growing past, what is it at now, like 130, 140 employees. I can't see it going past like 200. I think that's the absolute limit that they'll get to be
Yeah,
honest.
it
And
is.
so I think that thing wouldn't really be a problem. Nintendo have a lot of money. I reckon they could buy them. Would I rather they buy them than Capcom? Which is another like possibility that people have as a pipe dream. Yes, I would, but I'd rather have Capcom's IPs than Platinum's IPs. Because this is something that I'm really stuck on, because Sega actually had like a slight hand in this game. Who owns the IP to Bayonetta? Is it Sega or Platinum?
I think they are both on them. I think,
Right, so they co-own it. Right, okay.
yeah. Or it's
Okay.
only Sega. It could be also that. I don't really know. Yeah, it could be that it's only Sega because Sega published it first time around.
Yeah.
So maybe. And yeah, but Sega is definitely one of those, if not the only one who owns the rights. Like Nintendo definitely owns the rights to Bayonetta 2. That's a fact
Yeah.
because they
Right, okay.
funded it. Um, but well, I don't know if a Bayonetta 3 could only be on a Wii U or on a Nintendo console, not on the Wii U, but on a Nintendo console, or if it could, well,
It could be multi-plat, I
yeah,
think.
I also think that because, well, Nintendo only funded the second one, but it would be kind of weird now to have the second one exclusive to a Nintendo console and then the other ones to on other consoles, especially since
Yeah.
you can't port Bayonetta 2 to the other ones, and not even with like Ultimate Edition or I don't even know. Um, yeah, it is kind of weird now. It's a
Yeah,
very unique
it would be
situation.
weird.
Um, but yeah, what was the last question again?
The last question was, one second, let me get my notes up. It was just, do you want Nintendo to buy Platinum? How much do they need Platinum? And do you think they will?
Oh well. No, they won't. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to what else they have. Like, what else comes from Platinum Games, man? I hope they
Yeah.
make Star Fox. And it seems like we're gonna get another Platinum title. Definitely.
It
Um,
seems like it. It seems like they've got a good working relationship. Nintendo paid the money, Platinum made the games. It seems like it's a good relationship. We've got Star Fox developed by Platinum coming in 2015,
hopefully.
almost a certainty. Uh, we've got, and then potentially another Platinum game, which might be coming out on a Nintendo system. I could see one of those things being true. I can't see them not bringing out another Wii U game, to be honest. I think that that's almost a nailed on certainty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was you who said this. Bayonetta 3, when it comes out, could potentially be a launch title for the next Nintendo kind of console. I could see that being something that would happen, although I can also equally see it being multiplat.
Yeah.
If it ever even comes to fruition, if it's ever even made. I know that there was an article a few months back saying that they would like to make a Bayonetta 3 if Bayonetta 2 is successful under Nintendo again, and
Oh
that would be possible.
man. Another day one
Oh,
buy from me. I would definitely get that game.
same here, day one.
And now, well, we know there's another Platinum Games title out. Um, well, coming out,
Legend of
Scalebound.
Korra.
I'm definitely gonna play that at a friend's house. Not gonna buy it though,
I
because
wouldn't. It's getting pretty bad reviews at the moment.
what?
Yeah, it's getting like for platinum, it's getting some pretty
Ah, you're
awful
thinking about
reviews.
Legend of Korra. No, no. I'm
All
talking.
right,
I'm talking about Scalebound,
all right, okay,
the
okay.
Xbox One game. Yeah. The other one, well, it was published by Activision. They probably wanted to get out the game really
Yeah,
fast and just wanted to make quick cash because it is a smart move, honestly. Because you have now um, a lot of PS3s, a lot of 360s, a lot of Xbox One PS4s. It's like the best time to make such a quick game that is fan service because you have a ton of platforms on the market.
Yeah.
So it was a
Especially they need to get it out while Legend of Korra is still going high before it finishes. It wouldn't really make sense to bring it out after. But unless there's anything else to say, Benny, I think we've gone off topic a bit, and this discussion has went on for so long. We just we kind of need to get it all wrapped up. So have you got anything else left to say?
Nintendo by Platinum.
I second that. And also, Nintendo Platinum Games Bayonetta 3 get to work on it now, as well as Star Fox U. Thank you very much. And that'll about cover it for this discussion, guys. I hope you've really enjoyed it. Please comment down below your views. Have you really enjoyed Bayonetta 2? Also, if you'd like to see any specific kind of discussion with Benny from me and him, then please comment down below that and we'll be happy to do it. And apart from that, that's about it. But please go to Benny's channel, check it out. There'll be a link in the description below. He does some awesome stuff. A lot of wonderful 101 stuff, a lot of trailers, a lot of tutorials, and a lot of news and commentary on it, as well as a lot of Bayonetta 2 stuff and just everything Nintendo. You'll really enjoy it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like it, comment, like I said, and also subscribe to our 2 channels. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.
Bye.